Good morning and welcome to Let Us Reason Together. Today is February 18th, 2026. And today we are wrapping up our section in Ephesians chapter 6 on the household, what our households are to look like if we are believers. So we're going to be looking today at Ephesians chapter 6, verse 9. I'm just going to go ahead and read that. Paul says, "And masters, do the same things to them and give up threatening, knowing that both their master and yours is in heaven, and there is no partiality with him." As Paul concludes this section on spirit-filled households, he now turns to masters. After commanding servants to obey as unto Christ, he addresses those in authority now. And what he says is really remarkable. The gospel not only reshapes submission, it reshapes authority. First of all, he talks about having authority under obligation. He says, do the same things there at the beginning of verse 9, and masters do the same things to them. That phrase is striking. Masters are to reflect the same sincerity, goodwill, and Christ-centeredness that servants were commanded to display. Authority in the Christian worldview is never absolute. It is accountable. Masters are not free to act harshly, selfishly, or unjustly. They are called to mirror Christ-like character. And this principle applies today to employers, supervisors, leaders, anyone entrusted with authority in any organization. The gospel humbles power. And then Paul gives a very clear prohibition. He says, and give up threatening. In the ancient world, threats were common tools of control, but Paul commands Christian masters to abandon intimidation. Why? Because coercion, it may produce compliance, but it does not reflect Christ. Christ governs his people with justice, mercy, and righteousness. Leadership that relies on fear reveals insecurity, not strength. In any position of authority, whether in the workplace, the church, the home, threats have no place in Christian leadership. Then Paul talks here in verse 9 as he continues about a higher accountability, knowing that both their master and yours is in heaven. Here, this is the great equalizer here. Earthly hierarchies dissolve before the throne of God. The servant and the master share the same Lord. The employer and the employee answer to the same judge. This truth would have been revolutionary in the first century, and it remains so today. No authority is ultimate except Christ. And then he talks about the impartial judge. He says, and there is no partiality with him. God does not show favoritism. He doesn't show favoritism based on wealth, rank, education, or influence. Earthly status does not impress him. He judges with perfect justice. This should sober those in authority and comfort those who are under authority. Every injustice will be addressed. Every faithful act will be remembered. The Lord sees both sides. So Ephesians 6:9 completes the household code with balance. Children obey, fathers lead gently, servants serve sincerely, masters lead justly. Every relationship is brought under the lordship of Christ. The gospel does not merely regulate behavior, it transforms our motives. It teaches those under authority to obey as worship, and those in authority to lead as stewards. Ultimately, this section drives us back to Christ, who is the perfect master. He rules with justice. He disciplines with love. He shows no partiality, and he laid down his life for his servants. So if you are under authority today, remember, Christ sees your faithfulness. If you are in authority today, remember, Christ evaluates your leadership. All of us stand before the same heavenly master, and that truth reshapes everything. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope and pray that this is a blessing for you. If it is, hit that like button and that share button, and also hit that subscribe button on YouTube so we can increase our subscriptions. I want to thank you again. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.